A mind that is fast is sick. A mind that is slow is sound. And a mind that is still is divine, says Avatar Meher Baba. So, slowing down is good, because whole life the mind is always in rush, always in rush. You are always chasing something, and retrogression slows down. And so, if you are a spiritual person, then the retrogression can actually bring many great insights, great development in your life. If you are not spiritual, then this slowing down will irritate you, will frustrate you, because you are following the mind and the mind is in rush. Whereas a spiritual person is not following his mind, he is working on his mind. He is trying to control this monkey mind. And so retrogression, whether it is positive or negative, totally depends on what you are from within. If you are spiritual, the retrogression can be very helpful. You will learn many new things that you skipped when Jupiter was in its normal mode, when Jupiter was going at a normal speed. Now that Jupiter is retrograde, it has slowed down. So when you slow down, you can see many things clearly, closely. So all kind of observation, or I would say deep observation, is only possible when you slow down. Many times people, when they lose their job, they are tensed. But losing the job also brings many new insights of what life is all about. You understand that nothing is forever. The job that you were clinging to just slipped out when you were laid off, when you were fired, when you were kicked out. So you realize that there is no point in clinging. To help you understand the importance of slowing down, I will give you one example. It is said that the actual pace when you take pradakshina, that is when you go around a peepal tree or a banyan tree, then the pace should be very slow. You should very slowly walk around the tree. In fact, it is written that you should walk just the way a pregnant woman walks. A pregnant woman always walks very slowly. So it is said that just the way a pregnant woman walks, in that speed, that is very slowly, you should take the parikrama, the pradakshina, around the peepal tree or the banyan tree. So why you have to walk slowly? Because when you walk slowly, you are able to absorb the vibrations. You are able to connect with the divine. When you are very fast, when you are talking fast, then there is no substance in it. And so, Avatar Meher Baba says that a mind that is slow is a sound mind. And a mind that is still is a divine mind. And the whole journey, the spiritual journey, is towards first to still the mind, because the mind is constantly wavering and you need to still the mind. And it may take one birth, it may take 5 births. You don't know how many birth cycles you may need to still this wavering mind. And then Lao Tzu says that to a mind that is still, the whole universe is available. And that is why the very, very first step towards your spiritual progress is to still the wavering mind. And this retrograde Jupiter period is indeed a beautiful period that can actually help you in your efforts to still this wavering mind. And so in this podcast, I have talked about this retrograde Jupiter in Taurus and its effect on all 12 zodiac signs. So let's begin with this podcast. Der Ai Durustai. It means you have come late, but you have taken the right step. In plain words, it resonates with the saying, it is better to be late than to be never. And so when Jupiter goes retrograde, the native takes time to understand certain values of life. It takes time to sink in. However, once it sinks in, then they never turn back. Then they are all set on the path of righteousness, the path of awareness, the Buddha path. However, when it takes time to sink in, समझने में वक्त लगता है, then it is obvious that you will commit certain serious mistakes in life for which you may regret later. And so when Jupiter goes retrograde, it is a sign that the person is going to commit certain action, karma, in the state of ignorance. However, when Jupiter goes direct, then the person self-realizes this and then they go through self-transformations. Ideally, retrograde Jupiter represents a period where you may make mistakes out of ignorance. This ignorance can set you back, delaying your progress in life by taking you 10 steps behind. One significant aspect of retrograde Jupiter is that these fellows always feel guilty about their acts. The feeling of guilt is not good for spiritual progress. When the mind is free of fear, guilt, anger, and is more centered, then it holds the power to heal any ailment. It is likely that the phase of retrograde Jupiter may make you feel guilty. You may become guilt conscious. And when you become too guilt conscious, you always feel insecure. You are always trying to get validation from others. You are always eager to hear others say that you are a good man, you are a good woman. You need certification of being good because you are constantly fighting the battle of being guilt conscious. Jupiter is the Guru. And who is your first Guru? The very first Guru in life is your father. Now when Guru goes retrograde, it is obvious that there is some problem or issue with the father or with fatherly figures. Either there are differences with the father, or the father is not easily reachable, or the native cannot truly relate with the thoughts of his or her father. So difference with father can exaggerate during this phase of retrograde Jupiter. Retrogression of Jupiter is a period to pause, to introspect, to reflect. Now the question may arise that why you need to pause and introspect. The answer is that you have been on the wrong path, making mistakes along the way. During the retrograde Jupiter phase, existence provides you with an opportunity to pause and reflect, allowing for introspection and self-correction. Many a time when you are doing certain wrong things in life and when you visit a spiritual master, then you know what the master says. The master says, let's walk.
This walk is a state of pause in which the Master helps you realize your mistakes. And the Master is so soft, so compassionate that just His voice, His few words are enough to bring tears to your eyes. And those tears become the foundation of your self-transformation. After all, who is born as saint? Nobody. Jesus says, no one among you is free from sin. However, what makes you unique is your intensity to transform. That is why Nelson Mandela writes to his wife, a saint is a sinner who keeps trying. This nature of trying and trying is what eventually transforms you into a beautiful butterfly. Then you are no more an ugly caterpillar, you become a beautiful butterfly. If you ask me, then I would say that yes, retrograde Jupiter is indeed a sign that something has gone wrong. Something is going to go wrong. However, it is also true that God has been kind enough to give you a second chance to take stock. One needs to get the balance right between action and reflection. With so many distractions, it is easy to forget to pause and take stock. Retrograde Jupiter is a sign that the native has been allocated this life or this phase when Jupiter goes retrograde to pause and take stock of his own doings, his level of awareness, his mistakes and so on. Basically, in simple words, it is a golden opportunity to get yourself right by being more introspective. And ideally, in good quality horoscopes, retrograde Jupiter does make the native introspective. And when there is a certain spiritual inclination to the horoscope, then the person does not limit himself with mere introspection, but starts turning inwards, and that indeed is the turning point of his life. Remember, the only turning point in life is when you start turning inwards. Shallow people ask, when will the turning point come in my life? To them, the turning point of life is limited to when they will become rich and when they will have all the pleasures of human life. However, an evolved soul is not a common soul. Such a soul is perfectly aware that the real turning point is when you get hold of the real gold, the self. And you can get hold of yourself only when you go deeper and deeper in your self-inquiry. Remember, only when you go deeper into life by turning inwards that you can truly understand the beauty of life. Life is like a musical instrument, and only those who deeply dive inwards can truly create the great music out of this musical instrument called life. Reminds me of a beautiful Sufi story. In a very ancient family, there was some musical organ, but people had completely forgotten how to play it. Generations came and people even forgot that it was a musical organ. It was gathering dust. It was a very big organ and it was taking up much space. One day, the family decided to throw this nonsense. They said, this is just a nuisance. Why should we keep it? They took it out. They threw it on the road. They had reached home when a beggar started playing upon the organ. Time stopped. They simply turned. The whole traffic stopped. People came rushing from their houses. They forgot everything. For 1 hour, the beggar was playing on it. It was so beautiful, so enchanting. They were just hypnotized. And when the music ended, the family demanded the organ back. The beggar said, it is not yours, because a musical instrument belongs to one who can play with it. There is no other ownership. It may have remained in your house for many centuries, but it doesn't belong to you. You are not worthy of it. I am the owner. And of course, the whole crowd agreed with the beggar that he was the owner. Because what does one mean by ownership? A musical instrument belongs to one who can play with it. And that's how it is. Life belongs to those who can go deeper and deeper and deeper into it. Retrograde Jupiter is a golden opportunity that makes you go deeper and deeper into yourself in self-inquiry. Of course, the soul has to have a certain quality to it, else this wonderful opportunity is lost. When retrograde Jupiter falls with many malefic planetary aspects, then the native simply is not able to take advantage of such a golden opportunity to reinvent himself. It is said that when things are bad, it is time to reinvent yourself. Retrograde Jupiter gives you this chance to reinvent yourself. However, if Rahu obstructs, or if retrograde Jupiter sign Lord is also retrograde or in a bad state, then this opportunity to reinvent yourself goes down the drain. Reinventing yourself is a powerful opportunity to rise again in the eternal journey of life. Always remember, the greatest glory lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Retrograde Jupiter symbolizes the resilience to rise after every fall. It shows that no matter how challenging the path may be, you will never give up and you will continually reinvent yourself. And so now let's see how retrograde Jupiter in Taurus can help your zodiac sign reinvent itself in specific aspects of your life. Let's start with Aries. For Aries, retrograde Jupiter in Taurus encourages you to rethink your financial strategies and material stability. This is a time to reflect on how you manage your resources and to adopt a more grounded approach to your earnings and savings. It's an opportunity to reinvent your relationship with money and the value you place on security. For Taurus, as retrograde Jupiter moves through your own sign, it asks you to reinvent your identity and how you express yourself in the world. It's time to evaluate your personal growth and your self-worth and how you nurture yourself. This is a powerful phase for self-improvement, personal development, and increasing your confidence. For Gemini, retrograde Jupiter in Taurus shines a light on your inner world, asking you to reflect on your subconscious patterns and hidden fears. It's a time for spiritual reinvention where you can heal old wounds and release limiting beliefs. Dive into your inner wisdom and renew your approach to mental and emotional well-being. For Cancer, this retrograde brings an opportunity to reinvent your social connections and dreams for the future. It's a time to reevaluate the groups you associate with and the friendships you maintain. You may find yourself reassessing your goals and aspirations, focusing on building a network that truly supports your growth. For Leo, retrograde Jupiter in Taurus invites you to reflect on your career and public image. Are you on the right professional path? This is a chance to reconsider your long-term goals and make changes that align more closely with your true purpose. Reinvent how you present yourself in your career and embrace leadership roles with newfound wisdom. For Virgo, this retrograde phase encourages Virgo to reevaluate your beliefs, education, and philosophical outlook on life. It's a time for intellectual and spiritual growth where you can reconsider the knowledge you have gained and the wisdom you have accumulated. Reinvent your approach to learning and how you expand your horizons. For Libra, retrograde Jupiter in Taurus brings a focus on shared resources, investments, and deep emotional transformation for Libra. You may need to reconsider how you manage joint finances or intimate relationships. This is a powerful time for emotional healing and reinventing how you connect with others on a deeper level. For Scorpio, this retrograde encourages reinvention in your partnerships and relationships. It's a time to reassess how you relate to others, whether in romantic, business, or personal connections. Reflect on the balance of give and take in your relationships and consider how you can create healthier, more supportive dynamics. For Sagittarius, retrograde Jupiter in Taurus brings a focus on your daily routines, health, and work-life balance. It's a time to reconsider how you manage your time and energy. This is an opportunity to reinvent your habits, adopt healthier practices, and find a more fulfilling routine that supports your overall well-being. For Capricorn, this retrograde Jupiter brings a chance to reflect on your creativity, self-expression, and pleasure in life. It's time to reinvent how you tap into your creative potential and find joy in your pursuits. Whether it's a hobby, artistic endeavor, or romantic relationship, you can embrace new ways of bringing more fun and passion into your life. For Aquarius, this retrograde invites Aquarius to reflect on your home, family, and emotional foundation. It's a time to reconsider how you nurture yourself and those closest to you. You may feel called to reinvent your approach to your living space, family dynamics, or even your sense of inner security, focusing on creating a more harmonious and stable environment. And now comes the last and my favorite sign, Pisces. Retrograde Jupiter in Taurus encourages Pisces to rethink how you communicate and share ideas with others. It's a time to reflect on your mindset, daily interactions, and the way you convey your thoughts. This is an opportunity to reinvent your communication style, find clarity in your ideas, and build more meaningful connections with those around you. And so overall, the coming 5 months, starting from October 9th to February 4th, is a time of doing corrections, modifications, revisions. It is indeed a time to reinvent yourself, to drop all the old and to embrace the new, to get rid of all those things and people that add no value to your self-growth. The phase of retrograde Jupiter, if taken positively, can actually lead you on the path of excellence, because excellence is a reality whereas perfection is a myth. Enough for now. As this beautiful period of introspection begins, the evolved souls rejoice and celebrate, since such a beautiful planetary phase provides them a rare opportunity to reconnect with their higher self and understand the root of the problem. As Albert Einstein says, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I would spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solutions. And so, Now you all understand how great God is, as He provides His children the opportunity to think more about the problem so that they can find the solution, the right solution. God is good all the time. Have faith in God, be patient, and walk with faith. Remember, your faith should become greater than your fear. Jai Sri Ganesha, Jai Guru.
ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः।